Let us take an example that uses relative referencing. I often create a table for data entry with 5 columns and 5 rows to enter data. A similar sort of table is visible here on my screen. I want to have this template automatically created for me on a click of a button, as this is something I need to do every now and then. So let's click on the Record Macro button. Name the macro Data Entry Template. Shortkey Ctrl-Shift-T. Store it in this workbook or the personal macro workbook as per your needs and click OK. As soon as the macro starts recording, first step is to click on the Use Relative Reference button. Doing this will enable us to create the template anywhere on the workbook wherever our active cell is. If we would have chosen absolute reference instead of relative reference, the range reference would have been hard-coded while recording, and every time the macro would have been executed, the template would have been generated on the similar range, irrespective of where the active cell was. Anyways, let's move ahead. Once we've clicked on the Use Relative Reference button, let's type serial number on our active cell. Notice D4 is currently our active cell. Once you're done with typing, do not use Enter to commit, cause you'll move one cell down, which is something we don't want. Use the Tab key instead to move to the next cell on the right. Type name. Use the Tab key again. Date of birth. Tab. Contact. Tab. And email in the last column, and commit using Ctrl Enter instead of Enter. Using Ctrl Enter makes you stay on the same cell instead of moving one cell down. Use Ctrl left arrow to move to the first cell again. Press the down arrow and type the number 1. Again the down arrow and 2. Then 3, down arrow, 4, down arrow, then 5, and commit using Ctrl Enter. Notice how everything revolves around the active cell. Use the shortkey Ctrl up arrow to move to the first cell again. Then use Ctrl Shift right arrow to select all of the column headers. On the Home tab, select a color that you like from the color palette. Then use Ctrl Shift down arrow to select the whole table. Add borders to it and align it centrally. And then click on the down arrow to move to serial number 1. Then the right arrow once to move to the cell where we'll be making our first data entry. Now that all the steps have been recorded, click on the Stop button. Time to try out the macro. Select any random cell where you would like your template to be created and use the combination Ctrl-Shift-T to generate the template. Isn't that quick? Store the macro in the personal macro workbook if you want to generate your template on any workbook on your computer. Be creative and try out things for yourself. There is crazy stuff you can do using the macro recorder.